more fallout coming from the whole Supergirl debacle. I've said this before, I did like the movie more than most. I do recognize it had a lot of problems, and did I love the movie? No. Did I hate the movie? No. I just thought it was kind of okay, but I did expect a lot more from the second outing of the DCU. It should have been a lot better, especially in the case of the source material it's based on. For it being the second movie in the DCU, it should have been much better than it actually was. And so it didn't really instill a lot of faith with most DC fans. I can't say that we're really excited for where at least these characters right now are going to go. Is there any really true direction for the DCU? Yes, we have Man of Tomorrow coming out. We still got Lanterns. We got Clayface. But what are we supposed to expect from this current DCU? And unfortunately, it just seems like the direction is very split right now, especially in the case of Supergirl. There was competing cuts between the director Craig Gillespie and the co-CEO James Gunn in DC Studios. When it came down to the test screenings, there were competing cuts about which one was going to win. So it kind of became a director versus studio kind of situation. And when James Gunn has said stuff in the past of they're only going to make a movie based on a script that they completely believe in before they go into production on a film, that he's going to let the creatives really have creative freedom here. And then you get something like Supergirl and all the stories coming out of this movie, and it really makes you question what is happening here and why did Gunn say one thing and we're experiencing something completely different here. So it's put into question, what's the leadership of Gunn look like? And right now it kind of seems like he's a micromanager, like he's going in and you need him to be the one to shepherd the overall plan of the DCU. But I said this before in a previous video, Gunn's got to decide, is he going to direct these projects? Is he going to just oversee these projects? Is he going to be a true studio head, or is he just going to kind of, get in there and micromanage every little thing that comes his way? And this is no knock against James Gunn. I'm a James Gunn fan, but is he a better director than he is a studio head? We saw this with Kathleen Kennedy with Lucasfilm, that she's a great producer, but maybe not a great studio head. We definitely saw that she wasn't a great studio head, but she was a great producer. Is James Gunn in the same category of he's a great director, but he may not be the best person to run DC Studios? And I'm just saying this in a speculative manner. We've only had one movie, one project with the DCU that really hasn't worked. Everything else has been good. I mean, I really enjoyed Superman. Superman was good. I enjoy Creature Commandos. I still haven't seen Peacemaker Season 2 yet, but that season overall was received pretty well. So we still got Lanterns on the way. We got Clayface, got Man of Tomorrow. Man of Tomorrow is directed by Gunn, so I'm pretty sure that one's going to be all right. I'm not really worried about that one. But Clayface and Lanterns, I don't know what to expect out of these two projects. There's some things that I've heard about Lanterns being good, but maybe not as good as the studio's been hoping, or the early reactions are hoping that the show is going to be. Kind of same thing with Clayface, of initially it seems like it's been received well, but they're going to be doing some reshoots, adding some stuff. We'll see if that really works out to either the betterment of that project or the detriment of the project. And I really hope for success for DC. But if we keep going down the same path, I gotta say I might be losing some excitement for Gunn's direction. I'm not calling for him to be removed right now. I don't want him to be removed right now because I still want to see what he's got for us. But there have been other projects that he's talked about in the future, especially in that announcement video. Booster Gold, Paradise Lost, The Waller Show, The Authority movie, the Swamp Thing film, all these other projects that we really haven't seen much traction on. Batman the Brave and the Bold, at this point I don't think it's going to be directed by Andy Muschietti like he said. I've heard reports that Gunn might decide to direct that himself. I don't think that's a good idea because I don't think Gunn and Batman, I don't think that style really meshes very well. I'm just kind of in a wait and see mode with DC right now. I'm not saying that everything's on fire. Everything's not on fire. Some people are out there saying that, we need to scrap everything right now, just restart once again. And I'm saying, let's wait and see. Now, Supergirl may have not been as good as we hoped it was, but let's wait and see. Now, if Supergirl's an indication of the leadership of Gunn at DC, then yeah, we have a problem on our hands. If everything that's not specifically his is received this way, or is so tightly micromanaged that way that the creatives don't have any freedom to go outside of Gunn's vision, that could be a real problem for where the future of this universe is supposed to go. And is this universe really building towards anything, or do we just have a bunch of one-off projects that don't really build upon the next thing? I mean, we had that issue with Supergirl. There's no post-credit scene. Okay, that's one thing, but if you're not going to have post-credit scenes, then the end of your movie needs to probably tease where is your universe going. I kind of gave Superman a pass because it was the first one out the gate, but you look at the MCU and you had an instance of, at the end of Iron Man, Batman, you had that post-credit scene, and Marvel didn't know where this was going to go at the time when they filmed this. But you had the post-credit scene with Nick Fury teasing the Avenger initiative. So you knew the Avengers were probably on the way. That's what Kevin Feige wanted to do. He wasn't sure if they were going to get a chance to do that, but he was at least laying the groundwork so that they could do that if they were successful enough and they were able to get to that point. I don't think Gunn really has set that up to build towards something like the Justice League or this big overarching story. We got chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, but what's that chapter really about? What's the book that we're building here? What's this book really supposed to be about? And we don't really have an indication of where this is going just yet. I'm hoping that projects like, I was hoping Supergirl was going to do this. It didn't really do this. I'm hoping that Lanterns will. Gunn has said that it would. He did say that Lanterns would kind of be an indication of where the universe is going. Now, he said this. You can go and find interviews of him talking about this project, of how important it is for the larger DC universe. But if it doesn't pay those comments off, like his comments for Supergirl, a lot of the comments he had for Supergirl before the project came to be, we got the project, and a lot of what he said didn't really pay off. So is Lanterns going to be another case of that? We're going to have to wait and see. And again, I hope you don't come at me thinking that I hate where DC's going. I'm not a DC hater. I love DC. Batman is my favorite comic book character. I love Batman. I'm a big fan of Superman. I've always wanted the DC universe to be as successful as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It just so happens that DC, the leadership at least, has fumbled these characters and has fumbled these universes. I'm not saying the DCU has fumbled yet. I'm not willing to say that yet. We need to wait and see and watch the next couple of projects, because one loss, again, just one loss, is not an indication of a failing universe. Hopefully, what DC can do is learn from their mistakes with Supergirl and then apply that, learn from those mistakes, not repeat them again with the next couple of projects on the way. Now, Lanterns is pretty much already finished. It comes out next month. But then we got Clayface. That'll be coming out in the next couple of months. In October, got Man of Tomorrow, which I don't know if it's wrapped up filming yet. It's about to, at least. It's about a year away until that movie comes out. Hopefully they don't tinker with it too much. Let the creative vision flow for that film, and Gunn's the one directing that movie again. So I think that one, again, that's why I think that one's safe, is because he's all over that movie. He doesn't have to worry about another director coming in and maybe doing something that he doesn't like. But hopefully what Gunn can learn in the future is that if a certain director may have a different idea than him, he can kind of be more of a team leader, but also team player. Allow the team to come in with these other ideas, create a real nice creative space for people to come in, pitch their ideas, and if there's disagreements, they can work through those disagreements rather than Gunn saying, no, I don't like what you're doing here, I'm just going to come in and do my own thing. I kind of feel like that's how Supergirl was handled, was I feel like Gunn really overshadowed Gillespie. I don't think Gillespie was really allowed to, get outside of the parameters set for him. And I always feel that when you're doing a universe, a cinematic universe like MCU or Star Wars or DC, you have the one creative vision to say you need to do X, Y, and Z. But everything else, that's up for you to go and do. You say, like a movie like Black Panther in the MCU, Kevin Feige had certain guidelines of, you can't mess with these certain things in the MCU. I need you to set up X, Y, and Z. I need you to stay within this thing, and this thing, so that we can lead towards these other things. But all this other stuff, the primary story of what's going on with Black Panther, the stuff that's more internal, that stuff is yours. You go do that. The stuff that affects the wider MCU, these are the things that we just need you to implement. And then the rest of it, you go and you do your thing. That's what I'm hoping that DC starts doing. You have X, Y, and Z, set this stuff up for the universe going forward, but then let the creatives be the creatives. So I'm not saying give them free reign, but give them a little bit more wiggle room than maybe they're getting right now. So I know it sounded very critical of DC, and I'm not trying to be super critical. I'm sure some of the comments will come at me and say that I am being super critical. Please don't take it that way. I'm not trying to be super critical, but I'm just trying to voice my opinion and my feelings on kind of where I see the state of the universe right now and where I'm seeing the online discourse right now. What I also don't like is there's this part of the online discourse kind of coming for James Gunn's head. Let's not do that. Let's give this universe a chance to breathe, a chance to live, and a chance to learn. It's still got room to grow. We're only in year 2, only 2 movies in, so let's just see where this is going. But once we get past Man of Tomorrow, we get to 2028, and we still don't know where this universe is really going, then we kind of need to start, maybe setting off the alarm bells at that point, and I'll be right there with you. But right now, I'm just saying we're kind of in a wait and see moment, but Supergirl is a bit of a warning sign. So let's learn from those mistakes and then go forward. Those are my thoughts on the state of DC right now, a little bit more in depth than I was in the last podcast, having about a week or so removed from the release of Supergirl. So what are your thoughts on the state of DC right now? Go down in the comment section, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you have to say on all of the topics discussed here regarding DC. Hey everyone, thanks so much for checking out that clip from my new podcast, Talking Movies and More. It will be intercut with the podcast we're doing called The Assembly Cut I'm doing with Hayden Smalley, and I hope you stick around and check out that podcast as well. Be sure to check it out here on YouTube or your favorite podcasting platform, either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Go down in the comment section, let me know what you thought of the topic we discussed here today. Thank you so much for checking this video out. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified when new videos go live to this channel. When you do that, it always helps me out, and I greatly appreciate it. Hope you all have an awesome and a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.